Imagine if you can snap your fingers and hire a higher performing and lower cost employee than your current employees. Now, it won't be that fast, but you can actually set up an S tier remote team with staff that are high performing and low cost by following the right steps and setting up the right process. Hi, I'm Kingsong and I'm the founder of Far Out Scout. Today, I'm going to show you the three pillars of setting up an S tier remote team. Now, my team has helped over 43 different companies hire S tier remote teams in the Philippines. You can see some video testimonials from some of our happy clients, as well as written testimonials too. Now, Far Out Scout used to be a local recruitment firm. We started to hire staff in the Philippines due to costs and quickly realized they were really effective. We could hire graduates of the top colleges who already had a lot of recruitment experience for way less than half the salary of a local recent grad hire. We started to help our clients hire in the region, and they were very impressed. We realized that some of the most impressive candidates we sourced were bookkeepers and accountants. Now, the problem with hiring locally is not only cost. Candidates in North America are taught to switch jobs every few years to get a better title or more pay. The most talented accounting students don't even want to become accountants anymore. Many are opting into careers in finance or technology as product managers and operations personnel. And this has turned into an accounting talent crisis. The Wall Street Journal had an article of why so many accountants are quitting, and even accounting majors don't want accounting jobs. Fortunately, there's a solution. You can set up an S2 remote team and hire an accountant in the Philippines. The Philippines is a work culture that very well suited to producing effective remote accounts. And the best Filipino candidates want to work for international companies. Filipino candidates are low cost. We can source talented accountants with CPAs at less than $2,000 a month. They're also fluent in English. The Philippines is a country with the fifth largest English speaking population. They're also motivated, loyal, and detail oriented. The Philippines is a majorly Catholic country that emphasizes family, loyalty, and education. They're also able to work in your time zone. There's an entire industry around night shift work with cafes, restaurants, and transportation running 24/7, and many Filipinos are open to working North American hours. They also have experience with Western culture and international companies. Filipinos consume a lot of the same Western media as us. During the pandemic, many Filipinos started working remotely, and many already have international work experience. Now, the best candidates want to work for international companies. A recent report by JobStreet found that 84% of Filipino professionals are now more eager for remote international work. That's way above the Southeast Asia and global average of 66%. And our accounting candidates are good. Many have graduated from top colleges in the Philippines, and many of them already worked at Big Four accounting firms or have experience working for international firms. Here's some example resumes of a candidate with Big Four experience, one with experience at US firms. So here's a finance accounting manager at a New York City based company, and even candidates with US tax experience. With so much accounting work that is now doable online, there's basically no reason not to hire a remote Filipino CPA. The cost savings alone can be well over $50,000 per year per employee. This is without mentioning that a good Filipino hire will be diligent, effective, and likely to stay with your firm longer. So how do you actually hire in the Philippines? You can do so with the FOS S2 remote team model. Now, we've helped over 43 companies build S2 remote teams in the Philippines. And it's a three-part process where you can get set up for remote work, then source, vet, hire, and finally onboard, track, and retain a Filipino accountant to fit seamlessly within your team. You can do this within weeks and reduce staffing costs by more than 53.6%. Now, here's the setup. The first component is to set yourself up for remote work. You need to make sure you have the knowledge base, communication tools, security tools, and privacy tools to ensure your remote employees perform consistently and effectively. You also need to define the type of employee you want to hire. That means drilling deep on the specific tasks and objectives they need to reach, the values that are important to you, and the work culture that you want to foster. It's important to think about this and communicate these expectations before the hire. Otherwise, you may make a hire and then become frustrated when they're unhappy with their work or environment. Now, the second component is to source and vet the right talent. We've had clients approach hiring by setting up a few job postings and waiting for responses. Fortunately, they end up having to sift through thousands of candidates. And many of the prospective hires often aren't very qualified or even able to communicate effectively. And that's because there's a lot of available talent, but you really need to get the top percentile. Instead of just job postings, you need to do outbound recruiting and target very specific candidates with strong English speaking skills that have graduated top colleges or have international work experience. This raises the quality bar immediately, and then you can screen and interview them to make sure they're actually a fit for your firm. You also need to hire for superior performance rather than just find someone whose resume ticks the right boxes. With that same client, we ended up placing a candidate within weeks that was able to get started immediately. Finally, you need to set up the processes to onboard and retain your accountant. That means setting up systems for remote work. I've talked to companies who have tried hiring remotely for the first time, and they often struggle with not knowing what their employee is doing, not having clear agreements on priorities. Common pattern is employee will start off really excited and get through a lot of onboarding, and then over time communication breaks down and there aren't as many updates. Now, to combat that, you need to document your processes as standard operating procedures so that your new employee has clear instructions and a visual guide to completing specific tasks. You also need to establish a reporting system so that they can give you frequent updates on their work, roadblocks they're facing, issues they'd like to discuss. By having the right processes, you can ramp up your employee to start contributing within days. You'll need the employee to check in with you and develop an evaluation plan to keep them on track. And we know this works because our clients consistently report lower employee turnover rates compared to local hires. And it's pretty common for clients to mention that their remote hires are the most dedicated and diligent hires they've made. Do you want to know how to implement this for your accounting firm? You can apply for a 30-minute consultation, and I'll show you how we implemented this for clients and how you can go about recruiting and onboarding an amazing Filipino accountant and setting up your company for remote work. Our team has a limited amount of walkthroughs per week, but we'll open up more slots for certain weeks, so get in touch. Cheers.